Hey guys, Delt here. I decided to take another video off Bard because I was leveling a rogue, and I have 2 games for you here from just getting past level 15. Personally, I know the rogue build that I'm using is a little off meta right now, but I still love it. Short swords are, and probably will be, one of my favorite weapons in the game, unless they're nerfed to be fully unusable. Right now, they don't seem that way. And my perks are stealth, poison weapons, ambush, and lockpicking. Between poison weapons and ambush, I still have enough damage to fight, and I'm using lockpicking because I'm still working on building up a stash, and for if I kill troll to get the chest in there. And lastly, my skills are Rupture and Hide. I just like to do all of the stacking damage on people because it's a lot of fun for me. You hit them a few times, you back up, and you just watch them die. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed these 2 games. There's a ton of PvP, which is really how I like to play this class. So starting off in this game, I was just wanting to get the lion's head in the middle. That's why I was pulling these archers slowly, because I didn't want to deal with both of them and the shaman at the same time. So I'm just going to kill those 2 archers, kill the shaman, and then grab the chest. I am fairly lightly geared here. I came in with a shadow hood, a white short sword. I am fairly lightly geared here. I came in with a white short sword, a green rapier with a blue lantern in case I need to fight a barbarian with a felling axe or something, although most of them are running around with Swyhanders. Leather gloves for more dexterity, adventure boots for more dexterity, and that puts us above 0 PDR, and we're not losing any move speed for items that don't really do anything for us. So I think that's our best bet when we're coming in low gear. And I know I mentioned it earlier when I was talking about perks, but I am trying to somewhat build up my stash still, and so that's why I'm picking up a lot of gear and items that will work good for me. I like to have at least 3 or 4 sets just kind of on backup, and then after that I'll start to work on getting a bunch of gold and things like that. So I heard a barbarian scream. It was the PvE make everything run away from me scream. And so I'm actually just going to open this door just in case I need a little bit of a retreat, but I am going to try to fight them. And I hit them with 1 throwing knife and they gave up on life. I just killed them with throwing knives. I probably shouldn't have wasted them though. And I picked up this pickaxe because it's the only way I can break boxes on a rogue. We have another little warlock over here, so I'm just going to open the door. He's dealing with PvE. If he doesn't hear me, I'm just going to rupture stealth. If he does hear me, I'll probably try to throw a throwing knife first. And thanks to poison, rupture, and ambush, he was dead before blow of corruption animation even finished. Now I'm deciding to run over to Cave Troll and start to do that. I think after doing it for like 20-30 seconds, I realized that it's not worth it and just leave though. The zone started to close, and by the time I killed it and probably pulled 1 loot pile, the zone might have closed on me to where I was just taking swarm damage, and I didn't want to risk dying for no reason, so I just decided to head out here. Notice that I waited for his slam to do this though, because any other time he might have either charged at me or screamed, which would not have been good. Since I wasn't able to get Cave Troll, I'm just going to try to get to an area where I can kill a bunch of centipedes and at least make out of here with some jewelry. And there is a rogue on the other side of the store. I probably could have just killed him straight up, but instead I decided to run around and try to cut him off a little further into the zone. And that should be the rogue right underneath me fighting goblins. So this is sort of like a 2-for-1 special because there's also 2 centipedes down there. After I loot this chest, I'm just going to drop down from where the elevator is with Rupture and Stealth and then run into him. Sound cues are very important so that doesn't happen to you. He definitely heard me when I dropped onto the wood, and he probably heard my footsteps as I walked closer to him. But now I'm just going to be looting these centipedes to get jewelry because I'm building up my stash and I don't really have any yet. And now at this point, since I have some jewelry, I have some gear to put away, and I made a relatively okay amount of gold, I'm ready to leave. So I'm just going to be looking for a portal or a static exit. And now we're good to go. So after this game, I played a few more and was able to get pretty decently kitted. And I was killing Troll, and a base kit fighter ran in and didn't know what to do, and he died in the corner. And then when the Troll screamed, I wasn't able to get behind him because he was in the corner, and I actually ended up dying. I was fighting Cave Troll for about like 40 seconds to a minute, so I knew it was almost dead. I could have stealthed to save myself, but I didn't want to have to like fight the entirety of it over again since it was basically dead. I should have. I lost my set. So the next game is actually going to be in a different kit, but it's still good. We're still good. All of that to say, some people will share the gold pile with you. I like to share it with newer players because not a lot of people get to pull from the gold pile. But if you don't know what you're doing, please don't run into the room. Alright, so this game I spawned right next to a centipede, and that's free jewelry, so I'm going to kill the centipede. The most annoying thing about the centipede is I'm just sort of stuck here now where I take a bunch of damage. So I'm just gonna fast forward 30 seconds of your life real quick. At this point, I'm realizing that I'm 2 quadrants away from Cave Troll, so I'm just going to start heading that way. And there's another player here. Upon closer inspection, it's a barbarian. I'm honestly not super scared, so I stealth up to him, take a few hits, and then I run away. We have poison weapons, he's still taking damage. We have Rupture, he's still taking damage. So we're just gonna get as much damage into him as we can. Back up, and then go back in for the finish. Getting hit by that beetle was not part of the plan, though. But now we're at Cave Troll, so we're going to run down and do that because that was our plan. If you want to learn the troll mechanics, I do have a guide somewhere on my channel about killing Cave Troll. Basically, You just run to its left to dodge all of its attacks. When it grabs its hammer with 2 hands, you run away, and if it screams, you get behind it. Another small side note, most classes can only take 1 or 2 hits. If you have a rapier, you can do 3 when it slams down. But since I'm using a short sword, I'm actually able to get 3 hits in a lot more often because it has such a quick animation. And now that I've killed the cave troll, somebody is drinking a protection pot outside of the room to come kill me. I would really prefer to get the gold pile instead of fighting him, but this fighter did not want anything to do with that and instead chased me. And I'm not necessarily ready to fight because I just used Rupture and it's still on cooldown. So I decide to leave. At this point, I run over to him and I'm like, bro, you don't want the gold pile? What's the point? And then he starts to sprint at me, so I decide to full run. After a little bit, he throws a Francisca and I realize that I either need to kill him or I'm going to die. So when I get behind the rock here, I actually proc Rupture and Stealth. I know I can't stealth in the swarm, but I did it for the ambush damage. Get a few hits in, run away, and he's taking damage from Rupture, poison weapons, and the swarm all at the same time. So I just take a second, drink a health pot or bandage or something, and then run back and loot his body. And this man was a whole jewelry store. I was gonna kill the mummies here, and then I remembered that I was a rogue, so I actually just pulled them together and stood close enough for them to attack, opened the door, and left. And I know I worked fairly hard for that Ranger Hood and Zweihander, but I'm deciding that I would rather kill the centipedes and just get more jewelry at this point. But we do hear someone above us, so we just have to be a little bit careful about that. I heard a door open right above me and a player walk in, so I'm just gonna rupture stealth and walk toward him. And this gets a tiny bit hectic here. Since this Slayer fighter full ran there, I'm just deciding to square up against this other fighter. Basically, I'm trying to get him to waste all 3 falchion swings if he gets near me. And then when he does, I'll go in and get 1 or 2 hits at a time because I don't have any throwing knives at this point. Instead, he gets hit by the shaman twice, and I'm deciding to clear the mobs around me until I realize he actually ran to an escape portal. So I run over and kill him and then deal with all the mobs. So then I have an out. The shaman hitting me there was not the best, gonna be honest with you. But the good thing about it is, since I had ran far enough away when he cast that, he actually de-aggros, and so I only have to deal with the melee goblins at this point. So now we're gonna go open the portal, loot our friend, and leave. There is a lion's head right in the middle that hasn't been opened, but I'm deciding to not open it and not risk it because I'd rather not get 1 hit by the shaman. Okay, so once we open this portal, loot our friend, and show the loot that we got, that's basically going to be it for this video. As always, I just want to thank everyone who watched until this point, and I really appreciate each and every one of you for coming out and supporting me. If you could just do one more thing for me, please leave a like, a comment, or subscribe to the channel. Each and everything helps, and I really do appreciate all of you for doing it. Hope you have a great day. Peace.